Your life, your world, your news. This is 69 News Weekend Edition, live at 10.
If you were dreaming of a white Christmas, you know we didn't get one, but we're still getting a white day after Christmas. And some parts of the East Coast are getting hammered. Well, the track of the storm has made it a very tricky one for our area. Chief Meteorologist Ed Hanna has been following it all day long. He joined us now with the very latest.
Thanks so much. And Mark was here before that. Of course, I was here. And then since 2 o'clock, Amanda taking over. She'll be here giving you updates on the AccuWeather channel. Be sure to tune in as we continue to watch very carefully. I'm going to go over to the Galileo in just a second, but I need to be able to show you these dark bands of blue. They've been hammering New Jersey. Listen to this. Cape May, New Jersey, 18 inches, and it's still snowing. Wouldn't surprise me if they've topped over 20. Atlantic City, 15 inches of snow, and as close as Sussex County, New Jersey, talking about more like 14, 15 inches of snow. But just get back into Pennsylvania, you're seeing significantly lesser amounts ending up really, and again, the main number one reason is this storm is about 100 miles out to sea off the coast of central New Jersey right now, and it's pulling away. Going to be a major storm. Already is for folks in New England, Boston, New York to Philly. Lots and lots of flights canceled. Let's get over quickly to Galileo. Got to show you, encourage you to go to WFMZ.com. Traffic cams there. PennDOT has asked us to pass along to you. Please, if you can stay off the roadways, please do so. Again, Cape May, 18 inches. Atlantic City, 15.7. Ben Salem, Bucks County, 6. Philly, right now, 6.7, but some good banding. Temperatures throughout the area, cold, untreated roads, you bet it's icy out there. And of course, as we talk about the current winds, we're going to be talking about 20 to 40 mile-an-hour winds, wind chills below zero throughout the overnight, and it's tomorrow we're not going to get above freezing probably till Tuesday. Look at the wind chills, single digits. Winter storm warning remains in effect. Lots more details. How much more are we going to get? That's the big question. We'll answer it. 6-day forecast coming up.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ed. Well, a lot of travelers are stuck in the Lehigh Valley tonight. Plenty of plane cancellations on the East Coast because of this winter storm. And WFMZ's Will Lewis joins us live in Easton with the very latest on that and the conditions out there. Will.
Well, John, you know, there's a lot of people that are trying to get home by car or they're using the bus. But those people that wanted to take the train or wanted to take a plane are in a holding pattern. It's not the holiday colors that travelers want to see at Lehigh Valley International Airport.
They send you an e-ticket and say your flight's canceled, and then you come to the airport and they try and book you on another flight.
However, Tammy Kelly is not alone. A lot of people are trying to rebook flights. Many airline carriers are canceling East Coast flights. A total of 1,400 flights have been canceled at 3 New York airports, including Brennan Gray's trip to Barbados.
We decided instead of trying to call American Airlines repeatedly, they don't even place you on hold because so many people are calling. We decided to stop at the closest airport.
Even after trying several airports, Brennan Gray and her husband will not be flying anywhere today.
It makes me feel a little unhappy. You know, I'm a very lucky person to even be going to Barbados. We'll get there at some point. It might be a little late on the 29th or 30th.
While some people did catch the last seats on a plane,
it's worth the wait. We're hoping it's worth, at 4:40, we'll know if it's worth the wait, if that plane takes off.
Others say they may be staying another night in the Lehigh Valley.
I'm kind of prepared to stay here overnight and leave tomorrow afternoon if I can, because it doesn't look like there's any connecting flights out.
Yeah, a lot of those people staying at the airport, but now flights should resume on Monday. That's just depending on how much snow we get. And speaking of snow, right now here in Easton, there's not a lot of people on the roads. A lot of people haven't even been in their cars. They've been walking up and down the street here. And as Ed talked about the wind, and the wind has started picking up, so it is getting a little colder down here in Easton. Right now, reporting live in Easton, Will Lewis, 69 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Will. And the winter weather's also causing some headaches in Berks County. And that's where we find WFMZ's Jaccii Farris. She's live in Muhlenberg Township with the details there. Looks like plenty of wind there, too, Jaccii.
I tell you what, it is so windy out here and so cold. It's like Mother Nature is taking the switch, and it's high, low with the snow. We've been seeing it come and go. Earlier in the evening, it was melting on the roadways, but it's really starting to stick. And it's so bitterly cold out here that it's turning into ice. And if you're out here in the wind, it feels like you've got pins, you know, hitting your face. It's just that cold. Now, while this by no means is the storm of the century, people here in Berks County were making sure they were prepared anyway.
After hours of slushy, wet roads, the snow started to stick in Muhlenberg Township, Berks County around 7 o'clock Sunday night. Flurries flickered in the headlights of cautious drivers on 222 and Bellevue Avenue with no sign of stopping. This first blast of intense winter weather had folks lining up to air up their tires.
The air pressure's dropped. I think it's like a pound or two per degrees of temperature drop. But, I mean, I like to keep them pumped up.
The lines were long, the trick trying to stretch the air hose across the car to fill up each tire.
How to put the plow on today, so I got to put a little extra air in the tires to hold the front of the truck up better.
For Jeff Nisley, airing up was part of his job. He's got to clear some parking lots as soon as the snow stops.
Better now than yesterday. I'd rather be working now than on Christmas Day.
I know exactly what he's talking about, but if you have to go out on the road, there's a couple of things that you want to remember. You want to make sure that your cell phones are charged and that you have some water and medications, blankets, anything like that if you are traveling. If you're not, stay home. You also want to try to keep a safe distance between yourself and the car in front of you, because while the roads in this area were wet and slushy earlier, the snow has just kept pounding the area and is sticking now, and that's turning into ice. So you're not going to be able to stop on a dime, so make sure you've got plenty of room. In Muhlenberg Township, Jaccii Farris, 69 News.
All right, thanks a lot, Jackie. PennDOT official says workers will be out as long as needed in these conditions. Road crews hit the streets early this morning, spraying salt brine on the road so the snow would melt once it hit the roadway. However, because of all the snowfall, PennDOT is reducing the speed limit to 45 miles per hour on 4 highways. Drivers are asked to slow down on Interstate 78, I-76 in Berks County, and both I-80 and Interstate 380 in Monroe County.
Go slower. You're gonna need a lot more time to get to where you're going in weather like this. If it does get blizzard-like and you have whiteout conditions on the road and you can't see, best option is to get off at the nearest exit or rest area and just wait it out.
Usually a weekend storm is good for workers because typically there's less traffic, but with a holiday, PennDOT workers are seeing more people on the road. There hasn't been much that's been able to stop the Eagles' offense this season, but Michael Vick and company have met their match today in Mother Nature. The Eagles-Vikings game that was scheduled for tonight was postponed because of the snowstorm. The nationally televised game will now be played Tuesday night at 8. The decision came after Philadelphia Mayor Michael Nutter issued a snow emergency and said he wanted to keep as many people from driving as possible. So the Eagles won't be playing in the snow, but plenty of skiers and snowboarders plan to be playing in the snow this week. Officials at Bear Creek Mountain Resort in Long Swamp Township say today's snow hurt a bit today because many people don't like to drive in it, but they expect it to give them a boost this week.
People really haven't seen snow in their backyards yet this year. This will help out, remind them it's winter, remind them it's time to go skiing. Luckily, the kids are out of school. A lot of people have off work still, so we'll see a spike in business, I think, Monday afternoon through Friday because of the snow.
And officials at the resort say the type of snow that's been falling today makes for great conditions. In other news, very windy Monday. It's running out if you want to vote on our top story. Story of the day, though, the snow. Let's get the latest from Ed.
The big story is the snow. There's no question about that. It just was an underachiever by way of totals, snowfall totals in our area all of last week. We were telling you, we were watching, is it going to go out to sea? Is it going to hug the coast? And most of the models ended up showing it's not going to be a major player. In fact, when I talked to you Thursday, I had the day off Friday. When I talked to you, I said it looks like less and less likely to be a major storm. Now, tell that to folks in Atlantic City and Cape May who got 15 to 20 inches of snow. But for the bulk of our viewing area, it's more of a nuisance storm. But please don't let your guard down because, of course, all you need is just a little bit, and most parts of our area ended up getting kind of 1 to 3, maybe 4-inch amounts. Certainly you guys in New Jersey ended up getting more like 4, 6, 7-inch amounts in New Jersey, and then, of course, closer to the coast, even greater amounts. But it doesn't take much to create problems on the roadways, and, of course, with temperatures where they are now in the 20s, really slippery conditions. So be aware. Look at this, low teens and 20s throughout our area. We're ready to dip into the teens for everywhere else. Wind chills, wind values around, we're talking about 20, 30 mile an hour winds right now. Gusts could and will exceed, I think, 40 miles an hour. So 20 to 40 mile an hour winds giving us wind chills already below zero. Amanda and I were just looking at, and she'll be giving you updates overnight, so stay tuned on the AccuWeather channel. But we were just looking, wind chill values all night, the model suggesting below zero, and all day tomorrow in the single digits, because that 20 to 40 mile an hour wind will continue to blow. So even, this light is very light and fluffy, even if you didn't get a lot of snow, the blowing snow is going to continue to keep slippery conditions around, and temperatures aren't going to get up very much tomorrow. I think mid-20s, probably don't get above the freezing mark until sometime Tuesday, and even then, maybe for an hour or two. So it's probably not till Wednesday that we start to really see some thawing. So something to be aware of with this snow around, again, blowing at least over the next 24 hours. Storm system continues to, again, it's right off the coast of New Jersey, about 100 miles out to sea. Just shift that thing 50 miles closer to the west and everything would have been different. We would have seen significantly greater totals in our area, but it just ended up being, again, about 100 miles out to sea. Take a look. All day long we've been giving you updates, watching this edge, and at 2 o'clock today I said watch this outer edge, because once it stops progressing to the north and west, it's going to stop, and that's who's going to see the snow throughout the course of the day. We just ended up being right on the cusp of this storm, right on the western flank of this storm. And the closer you got to the coast, the closer to the center of that circulation of that low pressure you ended up getting. As far as where we're going, that pulls away, but the pressure gradient between that and the high pressure to the south will really be significant. So when I tell you 20 to 40 mile an hour winds, it is going to really feel cold. And I think between now and, let's say, midnight, 1 o'clock, that storm's still throwing moisture back. We still could have some additional snow. And so we're thinking maybe an additional inch or two on top of what you've already gotten. And in some cases, that's not very much. For some of you, especially in New Jersey, western New Jersey, it's much more than that. But, of course, I think in New Jersey, we could see another 2, 3, 4 inches because the bands there on the Doppler radar are so dark, so blue. And, again, that's where you're getting closer to the center of that circulation, at least by a little bit. And just those couple of miles means all the difference. So an additional inch or two overnight cold wind, drifting, blowing, keeping things very slippery, even though the snow will taper off early during the overnight, well, when I say early in the morning or during the overnight. And again, Amanda will be giving you updates, watching that Doppler radar, showing you the temperatures and wind chills all night. Windy, very cold, snow, again, tapering off early. And then look at that, 26-year high, so really by way of melting, very little. That 33 degrees Tuesday, John, looks like that may happen at between 3 and 4 o'clock, and then we drop below freezing again. So, this little bit of snow around, lots of icy conditions right through the next couple of days, certainly icy patches. Okay. Wednesday, 35. But look at the warm-up.
I like that.
I know.
Very unpleasant to pleasant.
37's the normal high, so that looks to be very nice to ring in the new year.
All right, sounds good. Thanks a lot, Ed. Well, the Eagles, Lewis, Will.
Well, John, if anything has changed from the last time I talked to you, it's just that the wind has picked up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and show you the road conditions at Larry Holmes Drive. As you can see, it's just slushy right now. Some plows have been coming back and forth through here, and this is how it's looked here in Easton on some of the main roads. But on those side roads, there's a lot more snow on there. Like we said, it's getting colder out here and the wind's blowing, so of course that means those temperatures are falling. But that's what we got over here in Easton right now. John, we'll toss it back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Will. So the big story today was the snow, maybe not getting as much as we could have gotten because of the track of it, but exactly. The big story tomorrow is going to be the wind.
100 miles off the coast. It had just been 50, but a big difference. But you're talking 15 to 20 inches right on the coast of Jersey. It was their major storm, and New England's getting crushed right now. As far as the wind, 20 to 40 mile an hour winds tonight and all day tomorrow. You know this light, fluffy snow is going to be blowing around. Be very careful. And we're not done. We still could get another inch or so. Jersey could get another 2 to 4 inches of snow out of this before it's done, probably sometime during the overnight. Amanda will be giving you updates on the AccuWeather channel all night.
All right, dangerous conditions with the wind chill tomorrow.
Absolutely. Single digits below zero tonight.
All right, thanks a lot, Ed. That'll do it for 69 News at 10 for everyone here. I'm John Derr. Have a great night. Be safe. Good night.